to Past Our Bedtime. Yum. Hopefully it's not too hot.
It's good. Love it.
Oh my God.
The dandelion dirt green tea.
Oh, I have a gingerbread tea and it tastes
can I smell
like deliciousness.
Oh, that smells heavenly.
Oh my goodness. So what are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about how we met our partners, husbands.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there'll be other stories that come from that, because our partners, when you live with someone for so long, you have so many stories to tell. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm really excited.
I think you should go first.
Okay, I will go first because I feel like you were recently at my wedding and that story was told. But at your wedding, I don't know if the story of how you guys met was told.
Yeah. I don't think we did talk about how we met.
No,
most people don't really know.
No, it's so long ago. You guys have been together for how many years?
16 years.
Yeah, that's so long ago. I can't even wait to hear.
Yeah, that's like half my life. I've been with him half my life.
Yeah, that's crazy
to think about.
Yeah,
that, hey?
Me and Brad have been together for like 5 years, I think. Married for 1, but yeah, that's so wild to think. But okay, I'll start.
Okay, cool.
So me and Bradley met at Rolco Radio. He worked for C95 and I was a part-time street team member that worked my way up to get a position within the promotions department. So when I started, I actually had a boyfriend at the time. So when I first met him, I was seeing someone and broke up with him like a week after.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and he was really weird. But anyway, so then after that, I would I would talk about being single all the time about how it's so hard to find like a good man.
Yeah.
And so I remember one time, before I get into that, Brad would come into my office every Monday because I was taking over maternity leave, and that's what the person before me did. They'd meet every Monday with Brad, took over everything promotions for his clients because he sells C95 advertising. Okay. So we'd meet and we'd talk about what promotions are coming up that he might want to sell, or talk about how different things that he's already sold and all that stuff. So
Did he know you were single? Good. Well, I guess you weren't, right?
Well, actually, the first time he didn't really ask. It was kind of weird. I wouldn't ask that. But the second time and the third time, we started talking more. And no other salesperson does this, so I was always kind of weirded out. If a salesperson wanted something, they just come in randomly and be like, "Hey, this is what I want," or whatever. But Brad had scheduled meetings every Monday.
Okay, but it wasn't out of norm for him. That was usually what he did.
No.
Okay.
However, I did find out that the girl I was taking a maternity leave over for had told Brad that he thinks that he should shoot a shot with me, basically, because she thinks I would be cute with each other, and that I'm a good person, whatever. This is what Brad says. Okay.
Oh, that's really nice.
So before that, Brad didn't think about it at all, because I'm 12 years younger than him, right?
Yeah.
It's a big age gap, and honestly, I didn't even know that age gap either, because Brad's kind of young at heart, and he looks pretty young for his age.
Yep.
So I really had no idea while we were talking. And so one day I had Brad, his friend Kurt, and his friend Justin all in my office, and we're just all talking about random stuff. And I guess, I don't really remember saying this, but I guess I was talking about how all guys suck. Oh, somebody asked me if I was single, probably Justin. And I was like, all guys suck.
You would say that.
Yeah, all guys suck.
You should probably go on a rant.
I can't. Yeah, I did. I really did. I was like, I can't find anyone. All this stuff.
In all fairness, though, you have had not a good track record.
No. I know.
Since I've known you.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what happened.
Way before that, too. Yeah, it's been a ongoing thing until Brad. So basically, Brad left that room after and got mad at his friend Kurt, because all before that, Kurt would go out with Brad and be like, "Have you met my friend Brad?" And would try to hook him up with people as jokes, but Kurt didn't use the line that he's been using for months before to try and get Brad a girlfriend, I don't know. And Brad was like, why wouldn't you do that? That was the perfect opportunity. He's like, well, I didn't know. All this whole thing. So we just kept on talking from there. And basically, I think the very first time after Heather had talked to him about being with me, and I didn't have a meeting with him yet, I don't even think at this point, we were in a coffee buzz, and I went and got a donut.
Like you drank too many coffees?
No, sorry. Coffee buzz is what... Yeah, that's a good question. At Rolko Radio, every Friday, they have a coffee buzz, so everybody comes down and they talk about success stories, they celebrate birthdays.
Oh, okay, that's
fun. They do like a 50-50 draw and like a prize draw, and yeah, that's just what they do. Celebrate anniversaries, yeah.
And how often do they do the coffee buzz?
Every Friday.
Every Friday?
And they have different songs that they play over the intercom that the creative team made to like tell you it's Coffee Buzz.
Oh,
so it's
I love it.
Yeah, it's so fun. So I went to Coffee Buzz and I grabbed a donut, and all of a sudden Brad like yells at me across the room. He's like, hey. And I was like, what is happening? Because it's like one of my first times at Coffee Buzz.
Right, and you're fairly new still.
Yes, and I was told always make sure that you do whatever you can for the sales reps. Like they're like super important to the organization. Yeah,
they
100%.
make the money
like,
for the organization.
Yeah, basically. So I was very stressed to me before I started. So I got all nervous that the salesperson was yelling at me, and I was like, what? And he's like, that's my donut. And I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I didn't know. And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. But like, I honestly, like, nobody else likes those donuts. So like, I always get one. It was a sour cream glaze.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah. And he's like, so I usually always get it. And now you just took it. And I was like, well, I could share with you. He's like, no, it's fine. And he got his own donut. So that was the first time like we interacted. And then after that, it was kind of like a running joke about the donut. So then we would like try to race there and see. And sometimes I'd pretend to have like 2 donuts, whatever. Anyway, so then I don't even know really how it started from there, but we were just like talking all the time. And I'd even tell Gary, our best friend Gary, I'd be like, Gary, like he is asking me to go out for lunch, and Gary's like, oh, I don't know about that, like was all like weirded out by it, probably because of our age difference, but Gary's the same age as him.
Well, plus it's at work, right?
Yes, and it's at work.
Right, you guys, while you're talking, I'm gso look up a stat.
Yeah. Okay. About how many people date at work?
Yeah.
It's a huge thing, I think. So basically he asked me to go out for lunch, and we went to Citizens Cafe, which is funny because his brother Andy was there, and he served us coffee, and Brad considered that our first date.
Oh, and do you consider that your first date?
Well, I didn't at the time, and then we were inseparable ever since then, though. We talked every single day. Then I went to, and this is where it got really we were like together, as in my opinion, was we went to, now I'm screwing this up. I don't know if this happened before or after the Citizens, but I was hosting this like band concert at Winston's, whatever the bar is at the hotel by the bridge.
Yeah, I think that's Winston's.
I think so, sure. Anyway, and Brad was singing in it, and I had no idea. So I showed up with my friends, and I was just supposed to introduce everyone, and then Brad was in this band, and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't know you sing, whatever, blah blah. And he like goes to sing, and I'm just like so thrown off. I was like, he's such a good singer.
He's a really good singer.
In my mind, I was like, I really like this guy now. Like I just like
done.
Want to be with this guy. Yeah, I was like
hearts just flying all around.
And I went up even after he sang, and I was like, oh, that was like Brad. Like for those of you that don't know, I work with him, and I had no idea he could sing like that. Like whatever. Then we all drank, and he was with his friend Taras, I think that's how you say his name. And we all went back to my house after. And
on 27th?
Yeah, on 28th Street. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we went back to my house and got really drunk. Brad's friend left. Brad was so drunk. He's like, no, I'm going to stay and watch a movie, because it was like me, my old friend Elizabeth, and my friend Stefan were all there. Mm-hmm. So we ordered pizza, but me, Elizabeth, and Stefan are all vegetarian, and Brad isn't. So we had to order him a separate pizza for himself, and he passed out on my couch before the pizza came. And then he didn't eat any of the pizza or take it home with him.
Oh, Brad.
So then I just had this pepperoni meat lovers pizza. I don't even know.
It could have been an excuse for you to be like, hey, you gotta come over and get your pizza.
Yeah, I think that's actually happened before our date, and then we were talking nonstop since then, and then we went on our date, and then that's kind of like what happened. And then randomly Brad decided that we were boyfriend and girlfriend without telling me, and he was like, yeah, he was like, I was talking to my friend Jamie at work, and she was like, well, are you boyfriend and girlfriend? He's like, I think so. She's like, well, you didn't ask? And he's like, no, I just like assumed. So this man just assumed that we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So we were going on a walk once, and he's like I like just assume we're boyfriend and girlfriend. I was like, oh really? I was like, I had no idea. But yeah, I didn't say yes or no, and then we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and then the story continued from there.
What a love story.
Yeah, and then COVID came, and my maternity leave was done, and I stopped working there. And
yeah. But then did you guys still connect after? You guys still dated after?
We were like already dating. Like I had told my boss, like, hey, like, because like we went to a Christmas party and we were together, but nobody knew. And then after that, I was like, I feel like people are gonna know for sure, because we got like so drunk, and I was like, I need to tell someone.
Somebody, yeah. Because you never know what the politics are like at work with dating, right? Because every company is completely different.
Yeah, and like they weren't very happy about it. Like, and
they weren't happy about it?
No, and he was very like, this is not gonna work. Like,
he said that?
Yeah.
But then you left that position. Were you still in that? Were you still at Rolco in a different position?
When I left that position, no. No, I could have stayed on and did the part-time stuff still, but because of COVID, they
they downsized probably.
They downsized a lot, and like I was a maternity leave, I was supposed to like stay on, but they're probably like, she's dating a salesperson, and there's COVID, and now she's going. So, but anyway, nobody had faith in us, but look at us now.
Look at you guys now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
5 years later, married.
Yeah, everyone's like, he has kids, and I was like,
love kids. Like, I don't know anybody else in the world that loves kids more than you.
Yeah, well, that too, and also like I'm a child of divorce, and like multiple divorces. Like my dad's been divorced so many times. Sorry, Dad, love you still. But like, so like,
I didn't know that.
And I've had like,
about your dad, about Papa Brooks.
Yeah, Papa Brooks. Yeah, so I've had like, I used to have 2 stepsisters that I had most of my life, half my life probably. Then they got divorced, and I was like, thank God, because they're evil. And so now they're not in my life anymore. And then he got remarried, have another 2 stepsisters there, have 4 sisters and brothers from my mom and dad's side. So yeah, I'm just like used to it. So it wasn't like weird to me. Everyone's like, it's so weird. I was like, no, like that's literally normal. That's a normal family to me now. So yeah.
People staying together is not normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, I think
things are changing now because I think there's better ways to like cope with things, and people are more open about stuff, and like I think like I'm not a professional, but I think people are staying together more than they're divorcing nowadays, hopefully, compared to 20 years ago.
Well, even now, I think we should look up another statistic. Okay, speaking of, let's see your work statistic.
Yeah, so I said, how many people meet their spouse at work? 43%.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who've gotten together from working. Like a lot.
Same.
Like,
well, I kind of met Matt through work a little bit.
Yeah, like, well, how do you meet other people not through like Tinder now these days without it being at work?
Great question.
Yeah, because people are too scared. Oh, I'm too scared to go up to somebody randomly and be like, hey, you want to go on a date? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I don't even know what the dating world is like, even with apps, because I've been with Matt for so long.
Yeah, it's not good. You're in a good place. Anyway, yeah. Let's hear your story now.
Okay. My story's a little long, and there's some details that you'll be like, why are you telling me this? This doesn't make sense. But there's reasons why I'm bringing this into the story. And it is a true love story. The historians will be telling this story for years to come. Okay, so 20 years ago, I was a degenerate. He was also a degenerate. So there's going to be maybe some things that come out of the story that I'm like completely a different person than that. Okay, so
yeah, I know. Okay, I've caught the tail end of your degenerate stage, I think.
Okay, yes. So I was dating an individual before Matt. I moved to Saskatoon for this individual. I was in love, like head over heels. He taught me how to truly love myself and how to be loved by somebody. And so I've told him multiple times over the years, even because we haven't been together for a long time, I'm just like, you were one of the best things that ever happened to me, because I never knew what true love really was, you know?
Yeah.
And so I moved here to be with him. He was in university, and so I didn't go to university. I, worked all my 20s, and I got a job at Montana's. It's a restaurant here, and it was a fairly new restaurant. So there was the group of us that were working there. They were friends with a group of people that were working there previously that had left. So like half of the crew that pretty much opened up that restaurant were gone, and half were still there. So there was like different friend groups that we all hung out with. And I don't know if you know this about restaurants, but they're pretty much like your family. Like you are literally working with these people in the trenches for over 8 hours.
Yeah, way extended periods of time.
Yeah, and then you go out with them after, and you drink with them, and then you go to each other's houses and party. Like, it's just like literally you're with these people all the time. So our friend groups would kind of like mix. Anyway, I was dating this guy, and my one best friend at the restaurant, his name's Jody Taylor, he was like, you gotta meet my friend Maddie. And I was like, I remember this, I was like cleaning like the broiler. It's like where you cook all the steaks and all the ribs and stuff. I remember it vividly. I was cleaning all the sauces off of like this metal piece, and I was like, your friend Maddie. I was like, I'm in love and I am not leaving, whatever, so and so. And so, like a month or two later, my other friend Corinne, who I call Corn, she was working, and she's like, oh my God, Cora, you literally have to meet Maddie. You guys would be so great together. And I was like, fuck your friend Maddie. I am with somebody. Why does everyone keep saying this to me? And then,
I'm getting deja vu. I feel like almost now that I've heard the story, but keep going.
So anyway, we, I'm still working there or whatever, and Matt's brother, Andrew, got a job there, and he's like, you got to meet my brother. And I was like, everyone really needs to stop talking about this guy. I'm like, I'm with somebody, I'm in love with somebody, like, everyone can piss off. So me and my two best friends at work, Crass Danger Flexington, that was his name, and his actual name is Chris Archibald, but we had nicknames for each other. And then there was Knack Nacho Libre, who's Nick Nickel.
Nick Nickel.
Yeah.
Is he related to Gary?
No, he's not.
Okay.
I think that was one of the first things I ever asked him. I was like, are you related to the guy on the radio? And he's like, no. So anyway, the three of us were like a tripod. Like, we went everywhere together, and we did everything together. We worked like the most busiest times together. We would drink with each other all the time. So we went out to the beach one day, and we were like drinking all day and playing, doing beach things, like playing football and going to the river and like whatever. And then we needed to come back to the city, and we're like, a safe ride. I don't even remember how we got home, but I know none of us drove. And we're like, let's go to Montana's, because that's like where you would go to drink, because we got cheap booze. So we went there. Oh, and the guy I was dating was with us that day. Okay, so we go to Montana's, and we're sitting on the patio, and they're like, there's Maddie. And I was like, Maddie? And I was like, because I didn't really like click in or whatever. And so we sit at his table with him, and he's with his girlfriend at the time, and they are off like full-fledged fighting, like screaming at each other. Yes, and we were all just kind of sitting there at this table, and they were like screaming at each other, and Matt got up, ripped his shirt off for some stupid reason, and he has hostile tattooed on his stomach, and it's like that means he's a Pantera fan, and I also like Pantera, so because the lead singer has a tattoo kind of like that on his stomach. And I was like, I had sunglasses on, and it was the first time I ever looked at somebody while I was dating that other guy. Like, I never even considered anybody else, but I was like sitting there with sunglasses on, staring at him freak out, rip his shirt off, and yelling at his girlfriend, like, super red flag. But I was like, I think I might love this guy. He's so skinny then too. He was like skin and bones, and it's just like
super red flags.
Yeah, super red flags. And then he took off like out into the parking lot, and then she left, and then me and my friends continued, and my boyfriend at the time continued to hang out.
Okay. So
that's the first time I met him.
Just to wrap it up, you sat down. He's screaming at his girlfriend. He rips off his shirt like the Hulk, and then runs away.
Because he was mad at her, and he was like swearing at her and stuff. And then he left because the situation was escalating, and so he was removing himself from the situation.
Yeah, he ripped off his shirt in Montana's.
Yeah. Well, we were on the patio, so outside.
On the Montana's patio.
Yeah. So anyway, I literally was like, hearts were in my eyes, but I had sunglasses on.
That's so funny. And Matt's like not really like that anymore.
No,
But
he's
keep
not
going.
even like that. So that was like the first time we met. But in reality, I guess we met before that, but I don't really remember. We met out back. Him and his brother were talking, and he was skateboarding, and I just kind of walked in. Because I asked Matt, I was like, do you remember the first time we met? And he's like, yeah, I was skateboarding outside of Montana's, and you just got your tattoos on your legs. And I was like, oh, yeah. But like it didn't click. I just like
No,
walked in.
because at that point he was like,
I stranger.
yeah. But for him, he's like, look at this hot tattooed babe.
So he's probably what he thought. So anyway, weeks go on, and me and my really good friend Ryan were out at the Colonial drinking, and Ryan started hooking up with this girl, and that's just what he did. And he hooked up with girls all the time. I was like his wingman. I'd help him.
Yeah, wing woman.
Yeah, wing woman. So anyway, he's hooking up with this girl, and then we find out that's Matt's girlfriend. Yeah. So I, the next day at work, told my friend who's managing, her name was Melissa, I told her, I was like, yeah, like, so-and-so hooked up with Ryan. She's like, what? I need to phone Maddie right now. And I was like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, I didn't, because everyone, like, still talked to each other and hung out, even though they didn't work there and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, she called him, I remember, in the kitchen, because there's, like, a kitchen around the wall from, like, the whatever, like an actual phone with, like, a cord.
She called him on the phone with the cord.
Yeah. Called him on the phone and cord, and she's like, Maddie, so-and-so was with so-and-so, and he broke up with her instantly. Like that day, I heard.
Ripped off his shirt and was like, it's done.
It's done. It's done. So then a few weeks later go by, and it doesn't work out between me and that guy I was dating. I was devastated. I was heartbroken. It was like I literally lost pieces of myself, and that's fine. That's what breakup is like.
Why didn't it work out?
We just weren't in the same place.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's fair.
He broke up with me, but that's fine.
Oh.
That's fine, because if I didn't meet him and I didn't date him, I would have never came to Saskatoon. I would have never worked at Montana's. I would have never met you. Like,
100%.
Like he was the catalyst for my life.
Yeah.
Honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I had to meet him in order to come here. I wouldn't have my kids without him.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a huge thing is like when you're going through something so crazy like that, like could be like a divorce, a breakup, whatever, like it feels like the end of your world because that was your whole world for so long. But like every time, like usually there's something better on the other side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's like even sometimes with like Brad, I think like everyone tells me like how happy he is now or whatever, and it's like he had to go through so much heartbreak to be with me and to have this life. So I totally feel that with you, and anyway, that's good though it happened. I'm sure at the time you were like dying.
I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I literally wasn't normal. I don't know, I was devastated anyway, but that's because I loved him and he showed me how to be loved. Anyway, so like a week goes by, he's not answering my phone calls and text messages and stuff, and like because he just kind of whatever, it's a long story, but he kind of just like dropped off the face of the earth, and then I made him upset, and then he had to go away, and then whatever. A week later I was like, I called Knack Nacho Libre Nick Nickel. I call him and I was like, hey, is your friend Maddie single? And he's like, yeah. I was like, do you think you'd want to hook up with me? And he's like, yeah, you got a big ass. He likes big asses. And I was like, okay, set us up. And that night I went to like a house party, and
so he was your rebounder first.
Yeah, I really just needed a rebound.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I've told Matt this and it upset him a little bit, but I was honest with him. I was like, you were just supposed to be some sort of rebound, and then I just couldn't get rid of you. Like, no, that sounds worse than it is. But so we went to this party. I hooked up with him that night. Like I was like, we're doing this, and it was just like the best sex I ever had. And so then I was like, I got to keep going with this. Like I feel like my life is coming back a little bit. You know, like I started feeling better about myself a little bit because of the breakup or whatever. So the rebound was working. But then I like really started to love him and like fall in love with him.
Yeah.
Like we're pretty much the same person, just in like
Yeah.
female and male form. I'm a little bit more crazy than him, maybe
Yes.
a little bit, but
Sometimes, yeah.
he's my yin to yang, and like he calms me down. He also can put up with my insaneness. Like I'm.
So,
Yeah.
was there a moment where you like can distinctly know like I love this guy, or
Yeah.
was it just gradually?
No. Okay. So I should. There's still more to fill in. So
Okay.
that ex-boyfriend tried to like get back with me, and I was like, I'm gonna, I'll go out with him one night and I'll see if this is actually like a thing. So like we went out, we didn't do anything. We just like went out with each other, and I was like, yeah, no, this isn't it for me anymore.
Yeah.
Like this just isn't like you're not the person for me.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. But you also have to make sure like, am I making the right decisions? And like nothing happened. We just kind of like hung out and like talked and like catched up, but then that was it. But yeah, Matt and I were like driving down the road one day in my car, and we were listening to the Smalls, and then I just like pulled over and I was like, I think I love you. And he's like, I think I love you too. And then we made out in the car.
I love the I think I love you.
Yeah, and then but we weren't dating at that point. We had a bone-anniversary, so like we were boning before we were actually like, dating. But our first date, he took me to this Halloween party at
We love Halloween around here.
Love Halloween around here. I think it was at the Odeon or whatever it's called now, Cruise Event Center.
Cool. Yeah.
So, Coors. Okay.
Yeah.
So the burlesque community put on like a burlesque Halloween show.
Just awesome.
It was so cool, Wendy.
Yeah.
It was like one of the best dates I've ever had. And as like a gift, he bought me nipple tassels. And it was just like, because they were selling shit like that there. And
Yeah.
it was like gore. People were like losing limbs. And like there was fake blood being sprayed everywhere
Oh my
in the show. And like girls were getting naked. And I was like, this is the best. This is the best. So then that's like our actual dating like anniversary. So we have a bone-anniversary, we have a dating anniversary,
Yeah.
and now we have a wedding anniversary.
Yeah, for like me and Brad, even like when we were trying to find out like our like when we actually got together, like because he thought we were boyfriend and girlfriend way before I did, we like didn't really have a date, so we had to like go back and find out when we went to Citizens Cafe, and decided that's
the day
when it was. Yeah, so I think that was like November 6th, but we always say November 7th because 7's easy to remember, but it is the 6th.
It's the 6th. Okay.
But yeah, it's funny when you're talking about the like I love you thing, like I think for a long time, like I felt that way towards Brad, but I just like didn't want to be the first person to say it, especially because like with my last boyfriend, I had said it because he was upset I was going on vacation, and he was like all nervous that I was like going to cheat on him or something. And so to make him
sad.
feel better, I told him that I loved him, even though I wasn't even really sure. But then after that, he freaked out about it, and he's all weird about it, like, oh, like it's too soon.
How soon was it?
And I was like, I don't know, it was probably like a month and a half in.
That's
2
pretty
months
soon.
maybe.
But
So-
you could still have good, hard, deep feelings for somebody.
Yeah, and like, also I was friends with Gary, who literally tells everyone he loves them all the time.
Yeah, he told me the other day, and I was like, ugh.
I know, he literally says it all the time, so I'm like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, even if like I just like love you as a friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in my mind, I was just like trying to make him feel better, because he was literally gaslighting me into feeling bad about going on a family vacation.
Yeah.
Because he's the worst. Anyway, so...
But he's not the worst.
Yeah, no, not Brad. That wasn't Brad. This is an ex.
Oh, okay.
He was gaslighting me into saying it. So then
Are we
when
talking
I
about
was
the
with...
same one that's tall and weird looking and wore a pajama outfit?
No, we're talking about one that is in a band and peed in my bed and made me clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Wendy has winners here.
I know. And okay.
I forgot about that story. What a red flag, super red flag.
I know. We broke up like literally a week after that.
Did he have to buy you a new mattress? Like,
No, he did not care.
who knew you need to have a mattress protector with
With men that are like 30. Anyway, yeah, so that's so funny. Anyway, so when I was with Brad, I was like scared to say anything. I was like, I'm not being the first one, because
Right.
I just like was so traumatized after that whole couple months of that relationship. And so I remember like it took, I think we were like seeing each other since like November, nonstop talking, and it was like at the end of October I threw a birthday No, I don't even know if it was that birthday or the next one. It might have been a whole year of us being together.
What happened?
It was just the time limit. We were just at 30 minutes.
Oh.
I'll quickly wrap this up.
The year later party.
Yeah, a year later, I throw Brad a birthday party, like a surprised one. Like, his friends came, we all surprised him. And we're in the bed, and...
Oh, we're in the bed?
No, after the party.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we're in the bed after the party. Yeah, all of us are in the bed. We're secretly swingers. Just kidding. No. Anyway, we were in the bed after the party was done, and he was just like staring at me really weird for a really long time. I was like, what? And he's like, I love you. And then instantly went in and kissed me. Like, he was like too scared to see if I was gonna like
a little teenager boy. So cute.
Yeah, so then we were kissing, and then like way after I was like, I love you too. Yeah, and then from there we just said love you all the time. But it's just like really funny because I think it honestly might have took him a year. I gotta ask him now if it was months or a year, but I think it was a year of us being together because we had a short separation for like 3 weeks when we were first together. And we didn't say love you then, so I mean it had to have been a whole year before we said I love you. And then lots of years, and then we got married.
Yeah, you guys are a really good pair. Like, compatible really well. Like, there's some people you're like, you know, like, you're together, but it's not really it's not that great, you know, like, but like, you guys really love each other.
Yeah, I think both me and you got like pretty lucky with who we're with. Like, we both of us definitely have different personalities, you know, and we found people to like fit those crazy
to put up with them.
Yeah, put up with them, or them put up with us.
Them put up with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Matt, like, yeah, he puts up with a lot with me, and not like I'm like a bitch or anything. I'm just like, I come up, like today, I picked up a bunch of twigs around the yard because I'm going to make a broom for Halloween. And he's just like, yeah, that's just Cora. Like, I'm just like, I get this idea and I'm like going with it. Or I'm like, hey, I'm going to paint the whole house in one weekend. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I do the randomly get on a, like, I feel like you're always doing something.
Always.
Whereas I'm like, I hyperfixate on things. So like sometimes I'm not doing something, but then when I start, like I'm like hyperfixated on it. And Brad like drops everything to help me out sometimes. He's like, I know this whole week is going to be you being crazy about something for a whole week.
Kind of manic, you know, but
100%. No, it
sometimes
is.
Sometimes I'm like, am I being manic about the situation? Anyway, we have found partners that put up with us.
Yes.
And like, over 16 years of being together, there's lots of downs, but there's lots of ups, right? And like, Matt got sober 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's so crazy to think.
I fell in love with him all over again in a different way when he turned sober. He like, because I got to know who he really was.
Yeah.
You know, when you're always, you know, there's substances involved all the time. It just, it masks things, right? So I literally got to really fall in love with him all over again. And it's just like, I don't know, I feel like we've been in love 2 different times, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. And lots of people actually say that. Like, normally I hear people talking about it like after they have like children together. Yeah. And they like see their wife like give birth. It like completely like changes like their feelings towards them, or just watching them become a dad, or there's like different moments or different things or different experiences like that can like make it like happen all over again, which is like so awesome for people, you know what I mean? Especially when you're in something for so long. But yeah, that's so good for you, and I'm so proud so proud of Matt. If Matt ever watches this, proud of you, bro.
I'm so proud of him too. Yeah. He's just he's come so far. He was amazing before and so smart, but now he's just like number one. Like, yeah, and he's like he's grinding. He's getting stuff done, and like, yeah, I don't know. And gets my stuff done too. Like, yeah. I'm meaning like when I have an idea for a project. Okay, that's what I thought. And then I was like, yeah, that sounds bad. He also gets my other stuff done. Oh my god. No, yeah, that's like really good. That's like, yeah, I know how much it can be a struggle when you're asking for something over and over and over again. Yeah. So when it gets done, it's like, such a good thing. Such a good thing. Yeah, so I love our stories. I love your story more than my story. Mine's kind of like all over the place. Mine is also all over the place. Yeah, another good one, like,
would be talking about like our engagement sometime. We should do that.
Like how we got engaged?
Yeah.
Yeah, because mine is not normal.
Yeah, I know. And mine is kind of just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, yours is crazy.
So, yeah, anyway, but...
Do you have okay, my God, I'm stuttering. We should put a picture of me and Matt and you and Brad, the first pictures that were ever taken in the relationship. Do you have that picture?
Yeah.
We should put it up. No, that's the best part, that it's so bad.
Yeah, maybe we should also make it our thumbnail instead of taking a thumbnail. Okay. All right, well, here's some beautiful photos of us when we first started dating. And let's post some photos of us, the most recent photos we have.
Okay.
All right, aren't we cute?
Yeah, we're cute. You take way more pictures than I do, so I might have to search to find ours.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I take a lot of photos. I just, I have a whole album of me and Brad printed. Because I'm crazy. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. Hey?
Is it.
Also, I'm drinking out of You Are My Favorite Person mug that Brad got me for the occasion.
What a great episode. This is a good one.
Yeah, so heartwarming.
Yeah.
So we hope you the best with your loved ones, and if you're single, you'll find your Matt or Brad someday.
Aww. Or maybe you won't. No, you will. Bye.
Bye.